What's up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to show you guys how to stop the I-form close slot halfback stretch, which in my opinion is the best and most effective run left that players consistently struggle to stop in Madden 20. But before we get into the video, guys, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch me play Madden live, you guys can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. The link is below in the description, as is a link to my ebook bundle. If you guys are looking for a way to finish the year strong on both sides of the ball, you guys can get my full Washington offensive game plan and my 3-4 Bear comprehensive defense, where I show you how to stop the run, stop all those pesky rollout passes, and lock down the field with unique coverage defense, all from the 3-4 Bear. I've spent over 35,000 snaps in this defense this year, and I'm very confident it will help you improve on the defensive side of the ball. You guys can get all the videos, over 3 hours of content, at my PayHip account. Click the link. When you check out, you'll get access to all the content. No waiting for me to deliver any links. It's all right there waiting for you guys. Okay, guys, let's give you a sneak peek of the 3-4 Bear defense. Today, we're going to show you guys how to stop the I-form close slot halfback stretch. Now, this is a request that I get pretty often here on the channel, or in my Twitch channel as well. A lot of players say that they struggle to stop this defense or this particular run. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it 3-4 Bear. We're going to call cover 2 invert, which is one of my better run defenses. At first, I started the year off in this as kind of a universal defense. I ran it against shotgun. I ran it against spread, compression. I ran it against under center, 2-back, 2 tight end sets. I ran it against everything. And then it kind of fell into a situational call, but you can still see I have 17,000 plus calls in this defense and an under 5 yards per play allowed. And that number has dropped considerably since I started using this specifically against 2-back, 1 tight end run personnel. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys the cover 2 invert blitz. And the way that you're going to run this is you're going to run it with the extra blitzing linebacker to the twin side of the formation. So we're going to break the huddle here. You notice that the twins are to the left side of the field. I'm going to go ahead and kind of put this like so, put it on a hash, and we're going to show you how to set this up. So what I like to do is I like to base a line. I like to blitz the right of screen linebacker, or the linebacker that is on the side of the twins. Then I like to crash my defensive line to the inside, or pinch them inside with the crash angle is going to slam inside, not actually pinching your D-line. And then I blitz this linebacker. So Trevathan is going to blitz, and that's basically so he run blitzes if they run the stretch to the right. Now, this spot on the field right here, super important. If you could actually put your fastest middle linebacker at this spot, preferably a guy like Roquan Smith, this is really going to help with the run to the tight end side. Now, what I do after that is I contain, and what I like to do is I like to user this player, this safety. And the reason I do this is because the way that this game plays, if you user this player, they will block him. If you user this player, typically they will not block him. And the reason for that is the way Madden is programmed, the offensive line has to respect the user primarily, because they know what all the other 10 computer players are going to do around you. They already know, hey, this is cover 2 invert. We're programmed to fire out and block this way. When you user this guy, they change their priorities and kind of mold the blocking to protect against you and make your job shooting the gap harder. So when you user this guy, they have to have their focal point being towards kind of a different target, if you will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what happens if they try to run the ball to the twin side of the formation here, and I'm using this guy. Now, there are times when you run this that you will be able to make this play on your own, but there are also other times where they'll basically block you perfectly. The fullback will have attention, or a wide receiver will kind of chip you up and get outside on you. So you're going to see right here how I'm talking. You see how that fullback blocks him and they're able to get to the edge. This is part of the reason that makes this such a tough run to stop. It's got a fullback, it's a twins flip look, compression, and they could run the ball very easily to that side. So who you user on this play is very, very important. So when we set this up, notice how when I user this guy, I want you to watch how this run blocks. So typically speaking, if you have high play recognition here, which I believe Eddie Jackson does, it leaves him unblocked. So when you run this, you kind of fly to the outside. You see how Eddie Jackson doesn't get, he almost didn't get blocked, but he did at the last second, and that freed me up with my user to make this play. But there will be times where that fullback will immediately target you instead. So you can kind of fiddle around with where to stand on this. And you're going to notice that from time to time, he'll completely miss or just kind of filter the running back into that safety. So the fact that you get down into the run fit with this safety changes how the fullback targets. Now, I'm not saying that it'll happen 100% of the time, but if you guys have watched me play on Twitch, I've got really good safeties. Obviously, we're at the end of the year in Ultimate Team. I've got 99 overall, Calvin Johnson at free safety, the out of position card, and then I've got the Taylor Mays golden ticket at the other safety spot. And it really ends up with this guy just flying around and making really good plays. So you can kind of see how this sometimes works. It will sometimes allow them to, depending on how the user runs, if they run really exaggerated to the outside and you're really scraping hard over to that direction, from time to time, that fullback will target you and then leave this player unblocked. Either way, you're getting somebody free to the ball carrier. So you're going to see here how this kind of works. You see how that looked right there? That's exactly what I'm talking about. The more aggressive you get, it frees up the computer player to kind of be free at the running back. So as we kind of set this up repeatedly, you'll notice that the more aggressive you are with this player, the closer you play to line of scrimmage, it changes the block targeting. You see how it just ends up with that player making the play. So that is how you are going to stop this run running to the left side. So go ahead and show this to you again here. You just get down and really aggressive with this. You see the run. And then the other example is when they actually run it the other way, and I surprised myself right there because I forgot to flip it. That blitzing linebacker that I mentioned needs to be your fastest blitzing linebacker. He's actually going to shoot the gap to the wide side because the fullback doesn't see him. And he just blitzes right through and makes his tackle for a loss. So you're going to see, you don't even have to make a user play on the run to the other side. In fact, this is one of those, I call them bait run defenses. When you run it this way, you're baiting them into the stretch of the tight end side. It looks like it's open, but it's really not. I mean, you see right here, you can basically just click on and make that play on your own. Very, very simple tackle for loss. I think Devin Bush in Mutt is the single best linebacker in all of Madden. I really do. He's only like a 97 overall, but it's his player build. He's able to squeak through those gaps very, very easily. And you see, I just wait for it, and then I click on it, and I just go make the tackle. It's that simple. I call it bait run defense. You make them think that they have something that they really don't. And again, if they were to run the ball to the other side, I mean, that's the thing too about this. You know that you just have responsibility to the twin side, because if they run it to the tight end side, they're not going to be able to block it. So you see right here, you just get aggressive. You're going to get Eddie Jackson to make tackles for loss. I mean, this is a guaranteed tackle for loss run defense if you run it correctly. So again, all you're doing is setting it up. You're base aligning. You're going to blitz the twin side outside linebacker. You're going to blitz the tight end side middle linebacker, crash your line inside and contain and user this safety. Doesn't matter whether or not they run it left or right. I'm just going to playmaker left and right. I don't know which way it's going to register. I don't know if you can hear me doing that on my second controller. I have no idea which way it's going to go. It goes to the right, click on, make that tackle. But again, guys, if you can get a faster linebacker at this spot, that will considerably help. High pursuit, high play recognition is really important for that particular run gap blitz right there. So Trevathan's doing a fine job, but again, he's not the fastest guy in the world. He's only 80 speed. If I were to flip-flop Roquan Smith into that spot and kind of reset the ball here, let me go ahead and do that on offense, or just kind of reset the ball. It'll work. So I'm going to put the ball on the other hash, and I'm going to run it the exact same way. So setup is really easy. It's like 3 steps: base align, blitz outside linebacker, blitz the middle linebacker, contain. So like 4 steps, I guess. But again, here, when they run this, you see how that gap opens up and Roquan just flies straight in the backfield. Now right there, he missed the tackle, but you see it is first contact 3 or 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It is a very, very easy run defense to set up. It's all about who you user. Now, again, if they run the ball and you're using the wrong player, notice how differently it blocks this. I mean, yes, it's a solid run defense if you can kind of meet that fullback and set a hard edge. But if you don't user the right player, it can be catastrophic. And that's one of the important things about this defense. You can do the same setup, but depending on who your user, it might change how the run defense plays as a whole. I mean, you're just going to see time and time again here, right there, they cut block that safety, and I'm there to clean it up. So it just really depends on, how aggressive you are with your user, where you're standing, how they're going to target. I mean, the closer you get, you notice that when they run the ball to the twin side, the fullback tries to get out there. Right there, he stumbles over because, he cut blocks and creates a lane where that running back can't come back to the inside. So again, this is just one of those runs that is really, really good. I mean, a lot of players love to call this run. And that's just terrible stick by me right there. But a lot of players love to call this run because it is hard to stop. Now, what happens if they start to do motion? We obviously we know that we're doing the run blitz off the tight end side, but what happens if they start to motion? A lot of players will go to this. So you see here that we're using this safety. maybe they decide to motion this receiver across. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that that receiver doesn't change anything. It's still going to open up. You're still going to be able to fly in and make that tackle for a loss. And Tevin Coleman is breaking a ton of tackles right now. But you see how that wide receiver motion block doesn't change a thing. It's basically the same deal if they were to audible into, any type of off tackle. Like a lot of times players will, and I don't have the audible set, they will audible into the strong close out of this, and it will motion across that one receiver. And they'll try to, run the stretch. Now, this is not stretch, but they'll try to do that, and it'll end up getting stuffed just the same. That linebacker will shoot the gap. I'll try to go set the audible just to kind of prove that to you. It's basically the same deal. That offset fullback doesn't change anything. So let me set strong close off tackles and audible. So there we go. And I'm going to come out in the I-form close slot, and I'm going to audible into that particular run. So again, you're coming out 3-4 bear, cover 2 invert. You're going to flip it to the twin side of the formation. Base a line, blitz the outside linebacker on the twin side, blitz the middle linebacker on the tight end side, crash down and contain. Now, if they were to audible into the strong close, outside zone, you're going to notice the exact same deal. They're going to go ahead and snap this ball. Here comes that linebacker right through the gap. Very, very easy. So that's going to stop that. Now, what happens if they flip their formation? If they flip their formation, you flip yours. Do the same setup. Base a line, blitz the wide receiver side, blitz the middle linebacker on the tight end side, use the free safety. They decide to run the ball to the right. I don't actually have the off tackle here. Let me go ahead and call the right play. Sorry about that. If they were to flip their formation, you flip yours. It's all about the gap integrity. So go ahead and show you the I-form close slot, halfback stretch, 3-4 bear. Let's say they flip their formation. You have to make sure that you align it correctly. The overhang defender to the twin side of the formation, user the safety. Now let's say they run the ball to the twin side. Again, you're going to fly down. You're going to try to make that play. See how that vertical hook is not blocked correctly. If they flip their formation and they want to run it to the tight end side to the weak side, so something like this, you're hoping that you can get that same animation to the left side. You see how he shoots that gap? You're able to make the tackle in the backfield. It's symmetrical. It works the same way, flipped or unflipped. So it's all about knowing your setups, not getting lazy and, taking a down off. If they flip, you flip. If they flip back, you flip back. Make sure you use the right player, and you're going to get -3, -4 carry every single time they go to the I-form close slot halfback stretch. This is one of the big reasons that my yards per play allowed out of the cover 2 invert, as I've started to narrow it down to specific formations, has dipped from basically 6 yards per play allowed as a universal defense to under 5 in the last month and a half, using it simply against these types of formations. Because for all those plays where I was allowing 6 yards per play, I'm now coming back and going -3, -4, -5 yards per play, and it's coming back the other direction now on my average. So this is a defense that was very, very highly requested. Wanted to make sure to get this out for you guys here on the channel. If you guys enjoyed this particular breakdown, again, I highly urge you to check out my 3-4 bear comprehensive defense. Again, guys, you guys can find that on my PayHip account. It is stored at the PayHip link in the description. Check it out. You guys can get my defensive ebook and my offensive ebook bundled together through there. I show how to shut down everything. 2 back, 1 run, 2 back, 1 tight end formations that are run sets, 2 back, 2 tight end run sets, tight offset, near close flex, gun split close, bunch, split close. I think I already said that. But, the whole gamut, trips, roll out corners. I teach everything that I know about defense on that ebook. Give it a look if you guys are still playing the game. If nothing else, give it a look. So that way you guys kind of have an idea of what you guys want to do in Madden 21, because there's a lot of theory that I teach that most certainly will translate, even if the entire scheme does not translate to Madden 21. So I appreciate all the support here on the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.